The Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out this weekend, and to the surprise of pretty much everyone, not only was it a decent, bordering on good sometimes movie, it broke, absolutely obliterated the record for the highest grossing domestic video game movie for the US and Canada. It didn't break international, so it didn't break worldwide. It came pretty darn close, but it didn't do that. But the previous record holder for domestic side of the gross was Detective Pikachu with 54.5 million, give or take. Sonic got 70. And I can guarantee you, I absolutely guarantee this, that the reason that Sonic did so well is because the director listened to the audience, redid the design, made Sonic look like the Sonic that people know. And people put their money where their fucking mouth was and went out to see that movie. This shows that listening to your audience is a good idea. This particularly applies when you are using a property that already exists and trying to either get more audience or get a new version of that same audience. It's like with a reboot or a game into a film or a film into a game, or these kinds of things. You need, if you're making something that already exists, you need to listen to what your audience is saying, because if you don't, well, you're going to get fucked. And if you do, you're going to make a lot of dosh. I've said this for a long time. I do not understand these reboots, remakes, sequels, whatever, where they absolutely shit on the original audience. Why are you using an already established property and then going out of your way to distance yourself from the original version's fan base? Why not make something new at that point? Why are you're using this thing that already has an established audience, and that's why you're using it, but then you're not wanting them at all, and the odds of you getting a brand new audience are very unlikely because it's already going to be associated with it having already existed. Teen Titans Go is an anomaly. That's not the norm. The norm is more like Thundercats Roar, and nobody's watching that shit. Why would you go out of your way to do something do something that I understand doing something that the audience might not want, because sometimes people they get something that they don't think they want, then they see it or get it and they're like, oh, actually, yeah, I did kind of want that. That was cool. That's understandable. When you go out of your way to antagonize or purposefully do something that's the exact opposite of what the audience is saying, that's just stupid. Like Ghostbusters 2016. All of the marketing, all the campaigning, all of the everything for that was just, hey, you men that grew up with the original Ghostbusters don't see this. You people we don't want in our theaters. Okay, you didn't get it. And you ended up losing, what was it, $100 million because of that? How'd that work out for you? When you have, like, Ocean's 8, which is trying to feed off of the Ocean's fan base, when you have the Fan 4 Stick, which is trying to feed off of the Fantastic Four fan base, those poor saps, I really feel bad for them. When you have Teen Titans Go, which should have, but absolutely didn't, want the original Teen Titans fan base, I can go on and on. There's a new Fast and Furious reboot, remake, whatever movie coming out that's basically a remake of the first movie, but with all women. Why? why is this trope a thing? Like the new Terminator movie, for example, which was we're ignoring everything that happened from after Terminator 2. By the way, girl power. But but Terminator already had a strong woman. Why are you doing the girl power thing now? I don't understand. Sarah Connor has always been the strong female lead. What are you doing? It's this stuff that I don't understand why they do these things and then they're antagonistic towards the original fan base. It seems so backwards. You're using a property that already exists, and I'm repeating myself, I know. Why would you then not want that fan base, or why would you do everything in your power to upset that fan base? Because if you're using a whole new property, that's a whole new audience that you can get, which can be nothing or it can be everyone, like with Avatar. So I don't get the idea of being so hateful, disrespectful, whatever, to the original fan base. Whereas if you listen to the fan base, you get shit like Sonic movie making buku bucks. Or as another example, there's a video game called Pathfinder Kingmaker, based off of the Pathfinder D&D rule set. That video game was originally done on Kickstarter. Uh, they asked for something like $500,000. They made almost $1 million on their Kickstarter. They released the game. The game was relatively well received. People had some issues with it here and there. The devs have listened to what people, the player base, the people that bought the game, have said. And they're doing a new game. They put it up on Kickstarter, and they have shown that they are listening to the people, and as of recording, they're at $1.2 million. So yes, you listen to your audience will reward you. Isn't that weird? That's what I don't understand about using pre-existing properties. Why don't you listen to the people that like these properties? Being antagonistic towards them, being disrespectful towards them, going directly against them just to spite them, has shown to not work. Look at the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. People are now looking back at the prequels and saying the prequels weren't as bad because the sequel trilogy was god-awful. But the sequel trilogy made a whole lot of money. Yes, Force Awakens, because people were thinking that it was going to be something new and good, made a lot of money. Last Jedi made money. Not as much as they were hoping. Nowhere near as much as they were hoping. Rogue One, probably the most original thing in that, which was just telling what the fuck happened. This reference thing that was done in episode 4, I believe. That was almost universally, that's regarded as the best film in all of the sequel stuff. That should tell you. Solo lost so much money, it's not even funny. And then the new movie, Rise of Skywalker, basically everybody hated it. And it made $1 billion, yes. But that was the bare minimum expected for this. The fact that it barely squeaked by $1 billion should tell you that people were absolutely done with this at the end. It couldn't be a standard Marvel movie at that point. And it's Star Wars. Look at how far Star Trek has fallen. They're no longer listening to Trekkies. They're no longer listening to the old school Trek fans. They're trying to get this new streaming crowd that doesn't give a shit about them, isn't watching it, and the old crowd that is trying to like these series absolutely hate them. There's a reason the new main series is called STD. Maybe I would like to believe that if Sonic is a big enough success, that will show other companies. Listen to people. Listen to, if you're making something based on an already existing property, listen to what the people that have enjoyed that property for many, many years are saying. I'm not saying do everything they're saying. That's ludicrous. When you can find a general consensus, i.e., fixed Sonic's design, it looks like shit, go with that. You'd be amazed. People will reward you for listening to them with record-breaking numbers. I'm hopeful that the Sonic movie will bring about this change, but I know the world we live in, and hope is wasted on the hopeless. Ha. This has been Math Machine saying you really should go see the Sonic movie. It's actually really fun, and Jim Carrey is just a blast in it. Peace out.